What's going on, everybody? Got my 12 volt to 12 volt DC charger in, and I'm gonna go take a look and see where it is I can mount it in the bus. Really limited on real estate here. Looking at this thing, I think the only place that's gonna be wide enough is like right in here, but this whole setup's gonna have to change. So let me get it out here and see what we can do. Okay, a little update of what I've done. I went ahead and moved these fuses to the back where I had some extra room. And people have been revisiting with me over and over that I need to be running everything off bus bars. So I had some bus bars. I'm gonna reconfigure everything around them. Then I've got a fuse block where I can run my accessories here in the bus. And then we got the 12 volt DC to DC charger. I'm reading a little bit that it put some heat off, so this makes me a little nervous. But I'm gonna have to just use it for a little bit and see how hot that it actually gets. And then I added the BT2, which will communicate with the 12 volt DC to DC charger and work on my app. And then I also added a 40 amp fuse on the, I believe this is on the lithium side. And then I'll have an A and L fuse that'll go on the battery side. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff in one corner, but you don't have a lot of real estate in here. Okay, so I've got my my solar coming in to the breaker, from the breaker into the charge controller, and then I've got the other solar, the negative, which my wires were backwards. I don't know if it's because I ordered it from Temu or whatever, but my positive wires were black and my negative wires were red. So I went ahead and put some coating on them just to keep my head straight when I'm using this stuff. But anyway, now I need to get the stuff from the actual from the battery to the charge controller, and then at that point, then I'll run from here from those two batteries to the batteries that I'm using for my to charge while I'm driving, and then from here to the alternator or to the starting battery. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a jumper over to here where I've got this fuse block live, so when I get ready to put accessories and lights in, I should be good. Man, it's a lot of wires. Yeah, I had to make another trip to the old O'Reilly's to get some more wire. Man, I got every size wire in the world except the size that I always need. And I needed some more of these because all I had the ones with the really big holes in them. So let's get back on this. It's coming along. Guys, I'll show you what I got so far. Man, it started out nice and cool. Now it's like in the 90s. I'm dying here, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm down to like 3 wires to hook up. And of course I stuffed something through my hand. So I'm gonna go have a glass of tea, chill out for a little bit, and then come back at it and finish these last 2 wires. But here's what we got so far. Now I haven't went through and bundled all the wires and put holdbacks on it and stuff, but I've got everything now set up. I have not connected my fuse box to start attaching all the accessories and stuff, but I do have open lugs on the bus bars. But I've got my panels on a, well, this is to the battery, lithium batteries. It's on a fuse. To the panels is on a fuse, and then from the 12 volt to 12 volt charger, I have it fused on one side where I have a switch where I can disconnect it from my lithium, and then I have an A and L fuse that's here on the wall, was what they recommended. And then of course I've installed the B2, and the BT1 was already there. Supposedly they used the same app, but we're getting close. That's just a lot of stuff in a little place like that, right? But I'll try to clean it up the best I can. All right, guys, it's all set up. Basically what I've got going on here is I've got 2 aught4 wires going directly from my lithium batteries to my inverter. I didn't want it ran through a fuse box because this is going to be running like all night, like running a CPAP machine and stuff. And I just want to be sure that there's no possible voltage drops that could damage the machine because they're ridiculously expensive. Then we've got our solar charge controller. That on the battery side is coming down, and it is breakered right here, 30 watt or 30 amp breaker that's running to from here to the bus bar. The same thing on the negative side, it's actually running to the negative bus bar, and then from the bus bar it runs back to the lithium batteries. Then we've got our solar coming in, our positive is coming through here, and then going from here, it is going to, wow, totally skipped a step. Okay, well, let me figure that one out. Yeah, I guess I ran just the positive wire directly to the charge controller rather than running it through the let me figure this out. Good Lord. At this point, the last few things I need to do is that I need to add 200 watts of solar on the roof where I don't have to worry about using this this portable panel, and I can keep 400 going all the time. And then I still want to add at least another 200 ampere hours of battery, just to ensure that I can you know, have plenty of battery power on cloudy days and stuff. But hopefully this will make a tremendous difference where I can drive more than 2 to 3 hours on my batteries. I would run in the hot days when it was like, you know, 100 degrees outside and I was driving. I'd only get on high on the air conditioner about 3.5 hours of runtime on 200 ampere hours of battery. And now that I have the DC to DC charger, it's a 40 amp charger. That thing pulls, I think, 50 amps. So between the 200 watts of solar that's on the bus and the 40 amps that are coming off of the alternator charging the lithium batteries while I'm driving, I'm hoping I'll be able to keep it pretty topped off. So we'll see how it goes, but it's another step. I'm always learning. Definitely don't consider this to be, you know, a teaching video, and maybe in time I'll get good enough at it that I feel comfortable to be able to share some information as if I you know, knew a little bit more about it, but I'm just kind of pushing my way through it right now. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, it's race weekend. I don't know if you guys participate in any type of Volkswagen drag racing, but I have lots of friends that do. A lot of people in my club do. And every year, this time of year, we all go to Ennis, Texas, and we go to the vintage drag races, and we'll stay there for the weekend. And so I've got to get the bus ready for a camp out, which will be cool because it'll be the first time I've camped out in it since I did the El Camino road trip, and have air conditioning and all the solar and stuff. But I have an oil leak, so I'm going to spend the morning, get out there, try to identify where it is. I got a couple parts that are common on top fours that may leak. One is the little rubber tube that goes under the dipstick, and then and supposedly that one drips, and then the fan picks up the oil and blows all over the back of the motor, which is kind of what I've got going on with it dripping onto my exhaust and making my vehicle like smoke when it's sitting running and stink. That, and then also the seal behind the actual fan fails sometimes, but you know, the one that's in there has only been in there for like 1,500 miles. I don't know, I just did the galley plug on the back of the motor. I did the rear main seal. I looked at all my pushrod tubes, they look dry, so I'm hoping it's the dipstick thing. But anyway, I'm gonna get out there, get some super clean, spray everything down, wipe it all down, just get an eyeball on it and see if I can see what's going on. What I've got going on is there's freaking oil all in this area right here and down in there. And when I get up underneath, I can see this whole bar across the back is all covered in oil. This little fan housing down here, that's all covered in oil. So I just looked at my dipstick tube, which is like, let me see here. It's tucked up in there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Anyway, it doesn't look tore or anything. There it is. But I did not use sealant on it, so I may take it off and see if I could use some sealant on it. And then I don't know, man. I just got to figure this out because this is yucky. But and it's getting on my exhaust and making my bus smoke. It makes me nervous. I mean, I've got oil all up there too. It's up underneath my frame. It's dripping off my frame. So yeah, I definitely think that it's the and you can look up in there. It's hard to see with a camera, but if you look up in there, it's dry on my pushrod tubes. So I'm thinking it may be this seal behind the fan. So yeah, I guess that's going to be the first thing that I address. So let me get some tools and we'll get on it. got in there, guys. That seal is completely dry. There's no drips around it. The oil pump's not leaking. So, I mean, it's gonna have to be that dipstick tube, is all I can think of. So when I get down here, I pulled that down, looked up in there. Those are dry. Those drips down the side are from the glue when I put it on. When I look at this stuff here, there's oil dripping off of this. Up on my engine mount, there's oil. I mean, it's like coated all the way up in here. So that culprit may be that dipstick tube cover deal, but now we're trying to figure out how the hell to get to that little boot that's in there. I don't know if you can see that little boot up in there. Let me see if I can get a light on it. There's a rubber boot right there. And when I put it on, I put zip ties on it, but I did not put any sealant on it. I don't know how to get up in there. Anyway, I mean, this thing below it is just completely dripping with oil. So, and I mean, the bottom of my fan, all of that stuff. So I think this may be it. Yep, there's the culprit. Just split in it. Learn something new every day. All right, I got all that put back together. I'm kind of on, I put some oil in the motor. I'm on to the next project, which is this. I need to hook my fuse box up to my bus bars. That way up front, I can plug in my refrigerator into the 12-volt socket and not run it on the inverter. It uses a whole lot less power, and also I don't like the wires running all over the camper. So I'm gonna get this hooked up, and then we'll run a wire up from underneath into the fuse block to run the refrigerator. Okay, I ran the wire up there, put a little decal on there that says refrigerator. Let's go see if it's running. The refrigerator is running. All right. So we'll see how that goes, how long it takes to cool down. All right, guys. Well, I went out, I'm gone for a cruise, just kind of hanging out here, and air conditioner's working good. I'm getting like massive charge when I'm traveling, so I'm super excited about that. So I'll see you guys at the drag races. Thanks for watching. Peace. See that thing, isn't she pretty? What's going on, guys? Well, just running the bus, put some miles on it before I head out of town on Friday. It's a good day. It's 87, 88 degrees outside, and I'm able to cruise comfortably with the AC running, windows up, and the DC to DC chargers like putting out like 345 watts. So it's not even touching my batteries. It's actually topping my batteries off while I'm traveling, which is killer. Because in combination with that and the 200 watts of solar, it's kind of staying ahead of the curve. So yeah, man, looking forward to this coming weekend. I hope to see a lot of you guys out there. Y'all can make it out to Ferris, Texas. It's going to be a gigantic Volkswagen drag racing event, car show, and then also it's going to be the people be camping out there all weekend. So it's a big fun party. Lots of good people, Volkswagen people. It's just a good time. Anyway, guys, hope to see you there. Peace.